Hi everybody, it's April 8th. We are here for our Bible in a Year Challenge reading, and that is going to come from Joshua 19 through 20, Ecclesiastes 6, 1 through 6, and John 13. So Joshua chapter 19. The land given to Simeon. The second allotment of land went to the families of the tribe of Simeon. Their inheritance was surrounded by Judah's territory. Simeon's inheritance included Beersheba, Sheba, Molada, Hazar, Shual, Bala, Ezem, Eltolad, Bethuel, Hormah, Ziklag, Beth, Markaboth, Hazar, Susa, Beth, Lebaoth, and Sharuhen. 13 towns with their villages. This also included Ain, Rimmon, Ether, and Ashen, 4 towns with their villages, including all the villages as far south as Baalath Beer, also known as Ramah of the Negev. This was the inheritance of the families of the tribe of Simeon. Their inheritance came from part of what had been given to Judah because Judah's territory was too large for them. So the tribe of Simeon received an inheritance within the territory of Judah. The land given to Zebulun. The third allotment of land went to the families of the tribe of Zebulun. The boundary of Zebulun's inheritance started at Sarid. Sorry, I got a phone call. The boundary of Zebulun's inheritance started at Sarid. From there it went west, going past Marlah, touching Dabasheth, and proceeding to the brook east of Jokneam. In the other direction, the boundary line west went east from Sarid to the border of Kisloth Tabor, and from there to Daberath and up to Japhia. Then it continued east to Gath, Hefer, Eth Kazin, and Rimmon, and turned toward Neah. The northern boundary of Zebulun passed Hanathon and ended at the valley of Iftael. The towns in these areas included Kadesh, Nahalal, Shimron, Idalah, and Bethlehem, 12 towns with their surrounding villages. This was the inheritance of the families of the tribe of Zebulun. The land given to Issachar. The fourth allotment of land went to the families of the tribe of Issachar. Its boundaries included the following towns: Jezreel, Kesulath, Shunem, Hapharaim, Shion, Anaharath, Rabbith, Kishion, Ebez, Remeth, En-Ganim, En-Haddah, and Beth-Pazez. The boundary also touched Tabor, Shahazimah, and Beth-Shemesh, ending at the Jordan River, 16 towns with their surrounding villages. This was the inheritance of the families of the tribe of Issachar. The land given to Asher. The fifth allotment of land went to the families of the tribe of Asher. Its boundaries included these towns: Hilkath, Hali, Betin, Akshaph, Alamelech, Amid, and Mishal. The boundary in the west went from Carmel to Shihor-Libnath, turned east toward Beth Dagon, and ran as far as Zebulun in the valley of Iftael, running north to Beth Emek and Neiel. It then continued north to Kabul, Abdon, Rehob, Hammon, Cana, and as far as Greater Sidon. Then the boundary turned toward Ramah and the fortified city of Tyre and came to the Mediterranean Sea at Hosa. The territory also included Mehebel, Akzib, Umah, Aphek, and Rehob, 22 towns with their surrounding villages. This was the inheritance of the families of the tribe of Asher. The land given to Naphtali. The sixth allotment of land went to the families of the tribe of Naphtali. Its boundary ran from Heleph, from the oak at Zananim, and extended across to Adami Nekeb, Jabneel, and as far as Lacham, ending at the Jordan River. The western boundary ran past Aznoth Tabor, then to Hukkok, and touched the boundary of Zebulun in the south, the boundary of Asher on the west, and the Jordan River on the east. The fortified cities included this territory were Ziddim, Zur, Hamath, Rakath, Kinnereth, Adamah, Ramah, Hazor, Kadesh, Edrei, En-Hazor, Yaron, Migdal El, Horem, Beth Anath, and Beth Shemesh, 19 cities with their surrounding villages. This was the inheritance of the families of the tribe of Naphtali. The land given to Dan. The seventh and last allotment of land went to the families of the tribe of Dan. The towns within Dan's inheritance included Zorah, Eshtaol, Shemesh, Shalabin, Ajalon, Ithla, Elon, Timnah, Ekron, Eltekeh, Gibbethon, Baalath, Jehud, Bene Barak, Gath, Rimmon, and Mijaron. Also Rakkon along with the territory across from Joppa. But the tribe of Dan had trouble taking possession of their land, so they fought against the town of Laish. They captured it, slaughtered its people, and settled there. They renamed the city Dan after their ancestor. This was the inheritance of the families of the tribe of Dan, these towns with their villages. The land given to Joshua. After all the land was divided among the tribes, the Israelites gave a special piece of land to Joshua as his inheritance. For the Lord had said he could have any town he wanted. He chose Timnath-Serah in the hill country of Ephraim. He rebuilt the town and lived there. These are the territories that Eleazar the priest, Joshua son of Nun, and the tribal leaders gave as an inheritance to the tribes of Israel by casting sacred lots in the presence of the Lord at the entrance of the tabernacle at Shiloh. So the division of the land was completed. And Joshua chapter 20, the cities of refuge. The Lord said to Joshua, "Now tell the Israelites to designate the cities of refuge as I instructed Moses. Anyone who kills another person unintentionally can run to one of these cities and be protected from the relatives of the one who is killed, for the relatives may seek to avenge the killing. Upon reaching one of these cities, the one who caused the accidental death will appear before the leaders at the city gate and explain what happened. They must allow the accused to enter the city and live there among them. If the relatives of the victim come to avenge the killing, the leaders must not release the accused to them, for the death was accidental. But the person who caused the death must stay in that city and be tried by the community and found innocent. Then the one declared innocent because the death was accidental must continue to live in that city until the death of the high priest who was in office at the time of the accident. After that, the one found innocent is free to return home. The following cities were designated as cities of refuge: Kadesh of Galilee in the hill country of Naphtali, Shechem in the hill country of Ephraim, and Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, in the hill country of Judah. On the east side of the Jordan River across from Jericho, the following cities were designated as cities of refuge: Bezer in the wilderness plain of the tribe of Reuben, Ramoth in Gilead in the territory of the tribe of Gad, and Golan in Bashan in the land of the tribe of Manasseh. These cities were set apart for Israelites as well as the foreigners living among them. Anyone who accidentally killed another person could take refuge in one of these cities. In this way, they could escape being killed in revenge prior to standing trial before the community. Ecclesiastes 6, 1 through 6. There is another serious tragedy I have seen in our world. God gives great wealth and honor to some people and gives them everything they could ever want, but then he doesn't give them the health to enjoy it. They die, and others get it all. This is meaningless, a sickening tragedy. A man might have 100 children and live to be very old, but if he finds no satisfaction in life and in the end does not even get a decent burial, I say he would have been better off born dead. I realize that his birth would have been meaningless and ended in darkness. He wouldn't even have a name, and he would never have seen the sun or known of its existence. Yet he would have had more peace than he has in growing up to be an unhappy man. He might live 1,000 years twice over, but not find contentment. And since he must die like everyone else, well, what's the use? In John 13, Jesus washes his disciples' feet. Before the Passover celebration, Jesus knew that his hour had come to leave this world and return to his Father. He now showed the disciples the full extent of his love. It was time for supper, and the devil had already enticed Judas, son of Simon Iscariot, to carry out his plan to betray Jesus. Jesus knew that the Father had given him authority over everything, and that he had come from God and would return to God. So he got up from the table, took off his robe, wrapped a towel around his waist, and poured water into a basin. Then he began to wash the disciples' feet and to wipe them with the towel he had around him. When he came to Simon Peter, Peter said to him, "Lord, why are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus replied, "You don't understand now why I am doing it. Someday you will." "No," Peter protested, "you will never wash my feet." Jesus replied, "But if I don't wash you, you won't belong to me." Simon Peter exclaimed, "Then wash my hands and head as well, Lord, not just my feet." Jesus replied, "A person who has bathed all over does not need to wash except for the feet, to be entirely clean. And you are clean, but that isn't true of everyone here." For Jesus knew who would betray him. That is what he meant when he said, "Not all of you are clean." After washing their feet, he put on his robe again and sat down and asked, "Do you understand what I was doing? You call me teacher and Lord, and you are right, because it is true. And since I, the Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you ought to wash each other's feet. I have given you an example to follow. Do as I have done to you. How true it is that a servant is not greater than the master, nor are messengers more important than the one who sends them. You know these things. Now do them. That is the path of blessing." Jesus predicts his betrayal. "I am not saying these things to all of you. I know so well each one of you I chose. The scriptures declare, 'The one who shares my food has turned against me,' and this will soon come true. I tell you this now, so that when it happens, you will believe I am the Messiah. Truly, anyone who welcomes my messenger is welcoming me, and anyone who welcomes me is welcoming the Father who sent me." Now Jesus was in great anguish of spirit, and he exclaimed, "The truth is, one of you will betray me." The disciples looked at each other, wondering whom he could mean. One of Jesus' disciples, the one Jesus loved, was sitting next to Jesus at the table. Simon Peter motioned to him to ask who would do this terrible thing. Leaning toward Jesus, he asked, "Lord, who is it?" Jesus said, "It is the one to whom I give the bread dipped in the sauce." And when he had dipped it, he gave it to Judas, son of Simon Iscariot. As soon as Judas had eaten the bread, Satan entered into him. Then Jesus told him, "Hurry, do it now." None of the others at the table knew what Jesus meant. Since Judas was their treasurer, some thought Jesus was telling him to go and pay for the food or to give some money to the poor. So Judas left at once, going out into the night. Jesus predicts Peter's denial. As soon as Judas left the room, Jesus said, "The time has come for me, the Son of Man, to enter into my glory, and God will receive glory because of all that happens to me. And God will bring me into my glory very soon. Dear children, how brief are these moments before I must go away and leave you. Then, though you search for me, you cannot come to me, just as I told the Jewish leaders. So now I am giving you a new commandment. Love each other. Just as I have loved you, you should love each other. Your love for one another will prove to the world that you are my disciples." Simon Peter said, "Lord, where are you going?" And Jesus replied, "You can't go with me now, but you will follow me later." "But why can't I come now, Lord?" he asked. "I am ready to die for you." Jesus answered, "Die for me? No. Before the rooster crows tomorrow morning, you will deny me 3 times that you even know me." You will deny 3 times that you even know me. That is all for today's reading. For April 9th, you are supposed to reflect on God as lion and lamb. And I will see you next time.